Hi and welcome to this little tutorial where I'm going to explain how we can export a model from either Revit 2010 or in this case Revit 2011 out to Navisworks for quick client presentation. There will be situations where you've got large data sets and really Revit's a bit too cumbersome because of its size and the database integrity of it to be able to demonstrate models live. So Navisworks really works very well around that. So we're going to start with this sample model from Autodesk. We're going to right mouse click on a 3D view and going to duplicate with detailing. And this is going to be the view that we're going to set up every time we export. So we'll just rename this and we'll call this 3D DWF export. Now, if you're really lucky, if we look at this model here, you will have all your materials applied and texturized in Revit, and will be absolutely fine. And when you export that as a 3D DWF, the colors will go out with the 3D DWF. You will not get the actual material, just get solid colors. Now, if you've modeled very quickly and you haven't applied materials, this technique that I'm going to show now sort of works quite well just to produce a very simple white model which we can then bring into Navisworks and render. So I'm going to hit the VG on the keyboard for visibility graphics, and this is going to be, we're going to just override the graphics in this view, so this will be view specific. We're going to select all the categories and we're going to click override. I'm going to change the pattern to be solid and I'm going to change the color to be white. If we OK that, OK, and apply, when we OK out of the visibility graphics override dialog box, you're going to find that your model now will be white. The glazing has remained as glass, which is absolutely fine, but all the other detail, facade details and brise-soleil and things like that have become white. You'll also notice that the terrain and the trees and the parking and roadways remained the default colours, which is absolutely fine because that's really what we want. So our next step will be go to the applications menu and we're going to export a DWF. We'll leave the settings as they are, click next. Now I prefer to use DWF rather than DWFX. We're just going to save the name there and all we're going to do is OK. And it will take a second or so while it exports that model out. If we then switch over to Navisworks, so this is Navisworks Manage 2011, and we're going to go to the Applications menu, Open, and we're going to choose our DWF. If we open the DWF, it will take a second or so for it to load. And you'll see there now we've got exactly the same representation we had from our Revit model. Now what I'm going to quickly do is do a save as. I'm going to save it as an, in this case, in NWD. And we'll save it on the desktop so we can utilize it offline. Now, to actually navigate round, if you can navigate your way around AutoCAD or Revit, you'll be able to navigate your way around Navisworks because the tools are exactly the same. So if we came over here and we'll find the view cube, it allows us to spin around. This tool over here is the steering wheel. This allows us to orbit around the model, or we can actually zoom in. So just hit, all you do is roll your pointer over each sector so we can zoom it in. Now if actually we want to look at a perspective view, if you go to the view cube, right mouse click and go to perspective, we can look at a perspective view of our model. Okay, so we're just going to pan around this and maybe just pan it down here and we'll just zoom in. And all I'm doing now is using the mouse to roll in. Now if we just exit out of the steering wheel tool and we right mouse click, we can go to background and we can set the background color. At the moment you can see that it's black. We could change it to any color you want, or you can change it to gradient or one with horizon. I'm actually going to change it to gradient and I'm going to change the top color blue to maybe a sort of a light grey, and if I apply that you'll see that it's automatically changed in the view. Now we can actually just say steer it around there a little bit, and now if you wanted to do a quick render, okay, so we can change the viewport visibility. Okay, so if we go to viewport, we can change the lighting mode so we can have full lights. Okay, we can have scene lights, headlights, or obviously no lights at all. I think it's better to use the full light mode. And there's various different ways that we can display the model. So we can have as a wireframe all the way through to full render. Now if you actually wanted to do an actual render live, if you go to View and go to Windows, you need to make sure the presenter module is enabled. You can see actually the presenter module on my screen is already enabled. If it's not, okay, just click it there and you'll see it appear. To do a quick render, just hit the render button and it will render live to the screen. Okay, it depends on the speed of your laptop, but most average laptops will be able to do this live for you in front of the client. Okay, so we can obviously say we wanted to pan round and look at another proportion of the model, maybe over here. Let's just zoom around here a bit. So you wanted to focus on this. And if we hit render again, and you get all the shadows and lighting as you would through directly from the Revit model. Now you can actually improve the lighting quality. You can put ambient lighting in if you wanted to. There's a load of presets. To be honest, if you wanted to do this live, you're better off just using the default settings. And as I already mentioned, if you'd actually set material colors within your Revit model and exported them across rather than overriding, you would get the solid colors inside Navisworks when it rendered. Okay, hopefully that's been useful. It's just a quick overview of how you could use Navisworks for presenting your Revit model.